Hey, what's up guys? I'm Soda Pop, this is the Left Pedal, and today we're gonna fight people. I'm just kidding, we're not gonna fight anybody. What we are gonna do is fab up a custom EGR Delete plate for my little Datsun 280ZX. Also, for those of you that follow us here at the Left Pedal, at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about some updates about why we've been so inactive lately and plans for future episodes. I'm going to give you the whole rundown, but right now, let's get to work. Alright, so a little preliminary message before we start this video. This is not going to make your car any faster. If anything, it's just going to make it a little stinkier. The reason I'm doing this is because, as cool as I think my car looks on the outside, it does not look good under the hood. As 280ZX owners know, it's just a mess of hoses and wires. It looks like spaghetti. So, I'm deleting basically anything I don't absolutely need. This is a little bit controversial. If you don't like it, I don't know why you clicked on this video. One more thing before we get started. You can buy an EGR Delete plate for like 30 bucks. It'll be better quality than what we're about to make. But this is more fun, so. Alright, first things first, we need to remove the EGR valve. You can do this with a 12mm wrench or socket. I think it's easier to reach with a wrench, so that's what I'm using. And as you can see, I've already loosened these up. Being that this does get pretty hot, it's kind of hard to break these loose. And it's just one bolt and one nut. And you have to kind of just wiggle it out of there. Ugh. So underneath the EGR valve, you're gonna find this gasket. The gasket simply creates a seal between two pieces of metal. Hold on to this part because we're gonna need it later. Alright guys, so the next thing you're gonna need is some sheet metal. This is 16 gauge steel. It cost a whopping $7 at Home Depot. And while this is probably plenty thick, I don't think I'd advise going with any thinner steel than 16 gauge. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is take our gasket and we're simply gonna trace it onto our piece of sheet metal. Now you're also going to want to mark the location for the bolts. Alright, so now you're going to want to use a center punch to put a little dimple right in the middle of where the bolt holes are. This will prevent your drill bit from sliding around on the metal. So the next thing we're going to want to do is use a small drill bit to drill a pilot hole in the center of where the bolt holes are going. Now I have a drill press and that's really a better tool for this, but not everybody has one, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my handheld drill. Now we're going to move on to a drill bit big enough for the EGR bolts to fit through. Go ahead and make sure that the holes are lined up before you proceed, which these seem to be perfectly lined up, so we're good. So the next tool we're going to be pulling out is our angle grinder. This is a great tool, highly recommended. We've actually used this $20 angle grinder multiple times here on the Left Pedal. However, this is a relatively dangerous tool. If you're using it, I do also highly recommend wearing eye protection and some gloves. So I am by no means an expert with this tool. I use it here and there on small projects, but other than that, I hardly touch it. So there's a good chance your cuts will come out looking better than mine. However, a piece of advice I can give you is that you need to be very confident with the angle grinder while still maintaining a healthy fear of it. They have a tendency to run off on you, and you really need to have control over where it's going and respect the tiny dangerous wheel inches from your fingers. Take your time, be safe, and if you mess up, don't worry. You can easily restart and get back to this point in 20 minutes. Now you'll notice that these edges are ugly and sharp, and we're going to clean that up with the bench grinder. So now we're just going to clean this up with the wire wheel. Take your time here. You might go back and forth with the grinder and the wire wheel, but you want to have a good looking product at the end. So after cleaning it up for a little while, you should get something similar to this. And as we can see, it fits right onto the gasket. Now I'm actually going to reuse this gasket and this metal block. But as you can see, they're pretty gross looking. This is 1 part simple green heavy duty cleaner and 1 part water. So we're just gonna let these sit in here for a little bit. Alright, so we've let these sit for about 45 minutes and look already how the color of the fluid has changed. So now we're gonna hit these parts with a wire brush for a little bit and clean them off. There we go. So now we've got this block, our gasket, and our custom fabricated delete plate. And all there is to do at this point is put them all together and bolt them back into the car. So that's all it takes. It wouldn't be a bad idea to hit it with some high temp engine paint just to make it look a little nicer. I'm not going to do so because I'm planning on having my whole intake manifold powder coated anyways. But yeah. Now, for those of you that follow us here at the Left Pedal, I'm sure you've noticed that our videos have been few and far between lately. We do apologize. We are trying. Nick and Winter have both been really focused on college, and I'm actually working on starting my own business, and I will talk to you guys more about that in a couple months when it gets more off the ground. You may also have noticed that we're in a different location than normal. I actually just moved out of my place, and so for the next few episodes we're going to be working in my parents' garage. Which is fine. There's lots of cool tools here. My dad has, you know, a million years he's been alive to collect tools that I can't afford. So that's awesome. Trust me guys, we know we haven't been very good YouTubers lately. We are trying. And trust me, there's nothing I want to be doing more than working on my Datsun, which I haven't had a lot of time to do lately. However, tax season is coming up soon. I'm looking to get a pretty good return, and the mature part of me wants to put all that money into my new business. Every other part of me wants to put all that money into the Datsun. So we're probably going to put it all into the Datsun. So you guys will be seeing more updates on the Datsun. We are going to be putting out more videos for you. It might be a little while before we get back to our old schedule of 2 videos a week, but we are going to try to put out more content for you guys. Thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for being patient with us. Seriously, we appreciate it and we love you guys. So one last thing before we go. I know this has taken forever, but those of you guys that signed up for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, we got these and we'll be sending them out in the next week. We'll send you an email before we put yours in the mail, and that's all I have to say. So, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to stay tuned in. I love you.